Hello everybody, my name is KingStix, and in this video I'm going to be showing you two interesting games. The first one is against an Ivern jungle, and the second one is against a Kha'Zix jungle. Both can be very difficult for Twitch to deal with. So first off, whenever you're playing against Ivern jungle, try to get your top laner to ward their buff, or to ward along Ivern's path next to your closest buff, because Ivern doesn't mess with you at your initial buff. He always tries to steal your second buff though, especially in mid and lower elo. So in this case, I'm going to do red. Lulu warded near his red buff, so if he goes for my blue, I'll be able to see it. And if Ivern doesn't go for my blue buff, I can continue my path like normal. So after red buff, I'm going to go try and gank mid unless I do see Ivern. So I'm going to wait a little bit to activate my invisibility so I can get all the way behind Ahri. But then I see Ivern on the main map going straight for my blue buff, so I'm going to cross over because I need to hurry. Lulu sees it as well. As long as she auto attacks him as Ivern's channeling his passive, she'll be able to cancel it. So here, she completely canceled his passive, is doing a lot of damage to him, and Ivern's in a bad spot because he's only level 1. I'm level 2 with the red buff, Wukong's level 1 and Ivern's level 1, so naturally we will win this trade. I flash to finish off Ivern. Wukong just used his flash. I'm going to use my invisibility to get as close to him as possible to take full advantage of the movement speed it provides, and we barely do pinch him off. Bear in mind that Lulu still has both of her summoner spells, so even if Wukong did step outside of her auto attack range by a little bit, it wouldn't have mattered. She could have just flashed and finished him off. Ivern has just respawned, but bear in mind he hasn't taken his red yet. He was still just level 1, so he used his passive on red and went straight to my blue, so I can easily cut him off here. So I'm going to run the closest path that he has to run to get to his red buff, which is right here. I hit the plant and I start shooting him. Now he has no escape route and he has no flash, so I can get off a lot of damage. I lay a ward in the bush. I continue to shoot him. I don't quite kill him and Wukong jumps on me, so I have to back off at this point. Ahri is also missing. Luckily, Lulu is coming in to help me, and she's level 2 since she stayed in lane while Wukong had to come back from base after his death. So we're both level 2 fighting a level 1 and a level 2 right now. I wait for Ahri's spells to be finished, and now I come in to help. I'm healing off of the red buff by smiting it. I do have another smite charge, but I have to wait 13 seconds. Ivern is closing in pretty fast, so I'm not quite sure if I can get this or not. If Ivern does step up, me and Lulu should be able to tear him up. Sure enough, he steps up, and we're going to get off a lot of damage onto him. Finish him off. Wukong was hanging out in the area to try to help. He has no flash, bear in mind. We close the distance on him, pick him off as well. Meanwhile, Wukong just lost a massive wave in the top lane because while he was dead, Lulu was pushing it. And now I'm going to come back top lane after that massive fiesta, since Lulu is making another massive wave. And if Wukong goes in on this wave, me and Lulu can easily kill him with the power of our minions. And if he leaves, he's going to miss out on the golden experience. So Wukong was in a lose-lose situation. So we end up getting gold from the minions and pushing him off like 3 or 4 waves. Ivern and Wukong want to fight. Me and Lulu are both decently fed, so we're not going to run away from this. Ivern gets off a decent snare. With my auto attacks, I can get out a lot more damage than the Ivern can. Wukong blew all of his spells and his ignite on me, and they barely even killed me. Meanwhile, Lulu's still full HP. Wukong and Ivern were highly impatient, very foolish, and didn't wait for Ahri to come, so Ahri ended up coming way after the fact and didn't get anything out of that. This pushed Ahri out of lane. The 2 enemy bot laners are bot lane and Wukong's top lane, so right now we only have to worry about Ivern and Ahri when she comes back. She's now back, but us 3 can easily take on her and Ivern under turret. So we're just going to power it down, keep hitting it. There's no reason for us to be top right now while the outer mid turret is still up. It gives a lot of vision and control on the map. All of our minions are dead now, so there's no point in me staying here. I'm going to run over here and take Ivern's Raptors. Bear in mind, he's really far behind and he's trying to catch back up. For him to do that, he's going to have to farm, so he walks straight into the bush that we have pinked. If you can put the enemy jungler behind with tactical invades and smart positioning, it's even easier to counter jungle them and predict where they're gonna be because they're desperate. Desperate people are easy to figure out because they're gonna do the easiest thing to try to get back into the game, even if it's dangerous. So since he was behind, I knew he was gonna walk into that bush without even warding it or suspecting a thing. As we're taking down their turret, Wukong foolishly goes in to try to stop us. Ivern lays up bushes. But with how fed me and Lulu are, there's nothing they can really do. Now that we've killed 2 of them, I laid my Rift Herald. I don't do it before then because I don't want the enemies to be able to hit it. We take down a turret and inhibitor. Unfortunately, my teammates don't focus the same turret the Rift Herald's hitting, so we don't get the Rift Herald a chance to hit the other turret, so that was just kind of stupid on their part. But we do get a lot of use out of it, breaking their whole base in the matter of like 30-45 seconds. The enemies move up to try to defend their base. The power of Hurricane is just simply too much for them to comprehend, and we take out 3 more of them. Wukong's left on his fountain just wondering what happened that game. And if you're wondering what happened that game, Wukong, you should have told your Ivern not to do that cheesy invade. Alright, we're going to be taking a look at game 2 now. The enemy team has a Blitzcrank, so we come to match them. For some reason, Karma steps outside of the bush, and then she decides to use her Q instead of just letting them enter the bush. So now we're in a weird standoff position where Blitzcrank's hook reigns supreme. The enemies keep coming in. I don't realize Volibear isn't here. So I'm stepping up to fight. I end up getting caught out by the Scion, but the good news is I do see Yasuo use his flash and ignite on me, and I don't blow my flash. So guess who I'm gonna gank right after red buff? I get a Hardy Leash on my red buff from the Volibear, thank God. I still have my smite and my ward. Yasuo is looking plump and ripe for the pickings. Remember, no flash, no ignite. I'm at no risk of dying, and he is at 0 chance of getting away if I can get behind him, which I do. If you invade like the Yasuo did and you get a kill by using all of your summoner spells, when you come back to lane, you need to play safe because the enemy jungler is going to take advantage of that information, knowing that you have no escape now. After getting the kill on Yasuo, I moved left toward the Kha'Zix blue. At that point, whenever Kha'Zix saw me move left, he should have gone to my blue. Instead, he goes to his blue because he doesn't know any better, so I'm going to wait a little bit for him to get it low and for Kha'Zix to get low himself. The time is right. The time is now. I come in behind him. I missed my first auto attack on the blue buff. I don't know how. I guess it was just a bad click. He smites it in desperation, trying to get some HP back, but then I just smite it off, finishing it since I still have my smite. Never use your smite on the red buff to begin with, otherwise you won't be able to invade or do anything like that. Plus, I do get Kha'Zix flash. I'm level 2, but as long as one of his minion dies, I'll get level 3. I auto attack him, throw out W for the slow, which keeps him off of me. Volibear goes in and nearly dies, but luckily Sion's minions aggro me. Volibear is super low, so I'm going to keep shooting Sion while he's dead. Holy crap. Sion does a fudge load of damage to me. I end up having to flash away. If he got off one more auto, I'm pretty sure I would have died. By getting Talon Elite, it's allowing him to roam around and get off even more pressure, allowing me for some cheap, easy kills. Whenever you get a killer assist, just reactivate your Q. I'm going to run these guys down, get as close as possible, get off a double slow. I want to start shooting Yasuo to get off my poison stacks on him. The invade from the beginning of the game where Yasuo flashed and ignited me is still coming back to haunt him. It got him killed mid lane and it got him killed over here. Both mine and Kha'Zix red buff is coming up. I'm really fed though, and I know he's going to be going for his red buff since he's behind. So I'm just going to wait for him. Blitzcrank is roaming mid. Unlucky for him, I'm sitting here waiting for the Kha'Zix red buff. He happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's going to get run down like a pig by Talon, and now I can take his red buff with no resistance. After taking his red buff, I do a few camps, I cross over and his blue buff's coming up. I timed it so I'd be here a couple seconds after it was up, so that way it would give him time to take a little bit of damage, also to get it a little bit lower. He jumps and flashes away, which is why I don't kill him, but he steps back in close enough for me to reactivate my E on him. With the power of my E, poison, red buff burn, and my red smite burn, he got burnt to a crisp. I'm waiting for Talon to get off a good slow to allow me to auto attack him. Talon dashes in, and after it's behind him, I knew it was going to slow him since he'd already thrown his wind wall out in the other direction. Great job by the Talon, and an interesting mechanic that in a way counters the Yasuo wind wall. The only way Yasuo could have blocked the slow is if he would have blocked the initial rake of Talon by throwing it out right as Talon threw out his, or if after he went through him, if Yasuo had thrown his wall behind himself to block the backward slowing aspect. Kha'Zix level 4 while I'm level 8. You gotta feel a little bit bad about that one. I flash with him. Talon flashes as well. I tank turret for Talon for a few shots to let him get out alive. The thing is, whenever you're playing an assassin like Kha'Zix or Twitch, it leaves you very vulnerable to being counter jungled. And if you do get counter jungled and you die, you'll keep getting counter jungled over and over and over unless your laners come to help you. And in this game, neither the Yasuo or the Sion came to help the Kha'Zix at any point, so it left me free to just keep snowballing on top of him. Bit of a scary situation right here, but with my lethal tempo, I can keep backing up with solid attack speed, getting off great damage. Karma, wonderful job on peeling. Volibear as well. Without the Volibear using his E to slow down the Sion, I don't think I would have gotten out of that one. Okay, now it's time to teach you an important lesson. After getting red buff, I come mid for a quick clear, and now I want to go to Kha'Zix's blue buff to stop him or to potentially just take it and run away. So I'm going to use the plant to go towards the back of the pit. I used W in the bush to see if he was there. He wasn't in the bush. I smite it for health. Then Kha'Zix comes out of nowhere, jumps in, and I get killed. If I had just 1.5 more seconds, I would have easily gotten away. And even though Kha'Zix was so far behind all throughout this game with just one jungle item, since I was missing a third HP, he could solo me. That is why playing against characters like Kha'Zix or Kayn can be very difficult for new Twitch players, because if you don't have really good positioning in the early game, you'll just feed really hard and fall farther and farther behind. After getting Inhibitor, Ezreal and Sion are looking for a fight, but so am I because my ultimate is up. I start shooting, Sion gets off a great stun. I'm not too worried because Ezreal E's in. I'm going to blow him apart. Now I'm going to turn onto the Sion, doing my best to kite, flashing past his ultimate and away from him, and getting off a double kill. I don't want to go in at this point because if I do, Kha'Zix can kill me with one jump and a Q, so there's really no point. Instead, I'm just going to go clear out his jungle, and if he moves towards me, I'm going to run away. I know Kha'Zix is in the area, so I don't want to be the first one to come out. Whenever Kha'Zix goes onto the town and then wastes his jump, I feel safe to go in. I'm going to reactivate my invisibility and try to cut him off. I'm going to run down the Kha'Zix, and you can see what happens. After we deal with the Kha'Zix, we're going to move on to Baron. At that point, the enemies pretty much just surrender, and that is going to wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed and want to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.